Welcome back to the Seattle Seahawks franchise. After our bye week, we are all set for the big matchup against the 49ers. Unfortunately, I have to apologize because this game didn't record the entire fourth quarter, and there's no way for me to recover that footage. I know how much you guys look forward to these games, so I'm really sorry I won't be able to show you all of it, but here's a small recap. This was a game packed with tons of explosive plays from both teams, but it took us a while to get into our rhythm. We were trailing for most of the game, but in the end, we came through with a big-time comeback win, clinching it 35-34 with a game-winning field goal from Jason Myers. Sam Howell continued to build on his brilliant performance from the Rams game, throwing for over 360 yards and adding 3 more touchdowns to his season. He was the key to keeping us in the game when things were tough. Like the last game, their front 7 made it difficult to get our run game going. Kenneth Walker led the game in rushing yards, but our ground game was limited overall. They really forced us to be a one-dimensional team, and Sam Howell stepped up to the challenge, and his connection with Tyler Lockett continues to be strong. Our defense couldn't stop this explosive offense, but did just enough to get us the win, and it was difficult to get any pressure on them. Altogether, it was a thrilling game, and I'm so disappointed that I can't show you guys just how hard the team fought for that win. That said, I'm excited that we're able to come out on top. Again, I apologize for the technical issues, but I hope you enjoyed today's matchup, and I'll include some focus scouting in this episode to make up for it. But we'll be taking on another divisional opponent and facing the Arizona Cardinals for the first time in this series. And of course, the first guy we need to put our focus on has to be the rookie X-Factor Marvin Harrison Jr. And just when I thought things might be easier, here's another dynamic weapon against our secondary. And while on the topic of secondary, Budda Baker will be someone we'll need to be aware of. I'm sure he'll be all over the field today. The Cardinals have been one of the most inconsistent teams this year, and it's been difficult for them to put together a winning streak larger than 2 this year. And they're coming off a recent loss to the Jets, who we will see in the next episode. But this game will hold weight because we might be able to jump them in the standings. This Cardinals team is going through a rebuild as well, but it's interesting to see how teams approach a rebuild differently. For Arizona, they believe they found their franchise quarterback, so their focus now is surrounding him with the right talent to help Kyler Murray develop and thrive. On the defensive side, it's clear they're still trying to build it from the ground up. This unit is pretty inconsistent, and they'll need to continue to inject some young talent to this defense soon if they want to get back to competing at a high level. It's a different strategy compared to other teams that may be tearing everything down, but Arizona is trying to stay competitive and build for the future. But they will be without their sack leader Samson Ebukam, and we're a game away from Abraham Lucas's return. Protecting Howell will still be the main priority to keep up his hot streak, and how about some heavy rain in the forecast here in Seattle as we try to capture back-to-back wins here at home and attempt to get our 3rd straight against a divisional opponent. We've got a good one today as Jason Myers boots this into the misty sky. And welcome to week 12, as Greg Dortch is the return man, and he'll take this up to the 27 for Kyler Murray. The talent is certainly there for him, but it's been a challenging journey for this Arizona team. And I'm sure we'll need to be focused on his ability to scramble around the pocket. But he'll start with a quick pass and into the hands of his shiny new weapon, Marvin Harrison Jr. That'll be someone we'll need to put extra attention on for the secondary, as he slings this the other direction and into the arms of Michael Wilson. Certainly can't sleep on him either. They'll now line up with 3 tight ends, assuming run here. It is a handoff and a huge lane up the middle for James Conner. Even knowing it was coming, we failed to make the play. Seattle with a 4-man front now. They send the blitz, it's picked up, and the throw is lofted for another completion to Michael Wilson, as Nehemiah Pritchett having a tough time out in the open field. Developing his coverage is still in the works, as Murray drops back, and no one's going to cover that as Wilson has plenty of space to pick up his 3rd first down of this drive. Couple of plays later, needing a yard, Murray going for Harrison Jr., it's popped up in the air and drops onto the drenched end zone ground. But they opt to stay on the field, handoff run off tackle, and Conner will get just enough to make it goal to goal. Arizona now spreading the field with Murray going empty, well protected, and dumped off to Wilson for his 4th catch of the drive as he carries this near the 5. Murray has done well in the pocket so far, now trying to use his legs and to his disadvantage as he's brought down by Uchenna Nwosu for his 6th sack of the year. And this drive will lead to the veteran kicker Matt Prater, who splits the upright for the early 3-0 lead. Sam Howell has played really well since he was named the starter. In the last 2 games, he has 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. It helps when he's getting the ball out quick, as JSN has a step and the catch for a massive play to start the drive. Past the 20 and out of bounds, 59 yards. What a start. Arizona showing a 5-man front, opting to run against it, and Walker has a nice gain to inch them a bit closer. Same personnel on 3rd down. It's an option, pitched out to Walker, and the Cardinals aren't fooled. Big loss, and Seattle will trot out their field goal team as Myers' kick squeaks in, and we have a tie game. After all the high-scoring games we've been through, it's a nice change of pace to see some defense, although I wish we came away with 6, as this is kicked deep for Dortch, and he'll take a knee. First quarter winding down, Seattle rushes 4. Murray over the middle to a wide-open Harrison Jr., showing off his speed and propels them inside Seattle territory. Tariq Woolen outmatched by the 4th overall pick, as Murray will flip this to the right side and nearly picked off. Nehemiah Pritchett nearly had his 2nd pick 6 of the season if he held on. They play conservatively with a screen, and Connor will be escorted out of bounds by Terrell Dotson. They'll send out Matt Prater again for a 53-yard try, but he gets blasted in the backfield, and this one is costly as it gives Arizona new life. Single high look for Seattle on 1st down. Murray, there's Harrison Jr., who won't go down, and puts them inside the 10. Murray now over 100 yards through the air. On 2nd down, throwing again, and another drop pick for Pritchett. The chances have been there, but Seattle having a tough time securing it. As Murray takes a deep drop, fires over the middle, it's completed, but a couple of yards short of the goal line. Arizona choosing to stay on the field, but they can't even get the pass off, and they're denied on 4th down. How about Tyrell Dotson shooting the gaps like a missile, and Murray couldn't even see him coming. Another challenge here is they're backed up in their own end zone, and Walker puts it on the ground. Luckily, the offense falls on top of it, and we avoid a disastrous moment. Howell now gonna try it with his arm, and they get it, as Metcalf muscles his way forward and giving us some more breathing room. That type of effort will fire up the stadium. As Walker gets another carry, he's got running room, breaks a tackle, and makes up for his fumble earlier with a big-time run. Walker has been inconsistent up to this point of the year, as they fake it to him on 3rd down. Now Howell fires across, and what a ball to Metcalf to keep this drive moving. As I was saying, I wish he had more consistent games with big runs, as his block blows up a gap for Charbonnet, and that's what we've been looking for all game long. See, then those types of plays happen, and I recall that we might have the best backfield duel in the league. As Howell drops, fires over the middle, and how about another big catch for JSN? And let's not forget how crazy it is that he is our 3rd option. But on this 3rd and goal, Howell trying to find an open man, but too much pressure there. And in comes Jason Myers now to try and take the lead. And this kick will go right down the middle for the Seahawks to take a 3-point lead. Under 2 minutes before the first half ends, they'll run a screen on 2nd down, and Connor will pick up 6, and Arizona burns a timeout. Connor is now favoring his midsection and would not return to this game. So the rookie Trey Benson will take over, as Murray flips this out to the other Trey, in McBride, who stays on his feet for a 1st down. McBride is a budding star at the tight end position, as he puts Witherspoon on skates and makes the catch downfield. Inside the 20 they go, and they're in business at the right time. As this one will go to Benson, and his first touch of the game will net them another 4. Time continues to tick with 35 seconds to go. Murray fires across, he's got a man, touchdown! First one of the game goes to Zay Jones. And it's Arizona who finds the end zone on a double move, and it's Witherspoon again who looks completely lost out there on that drive. But did they leave too much time for Seattle with 3 timeouts? As Howell throws with touch, hitting Metcalf in stride with speed, and will take this all the way to Arizona territory. And all of that just took 8 seconds off the clock. Metcalf nearing the century mark, and you'd assume he'll get across it in this game, but he's gonna get it here inside the 10, and Seattle are well in position to finish this with points. Final 11 seconds here at the 5. It's a handoff to Walker, right behind Steen, and in for the touchdown. How about that drive to end the first half in dramatic fashion as both offenses has awakened. Assuming this is the last play unless something crazy happens, as Murray takes a sideline shot, and crazy just happened. Harrison Jr. is a monster. And Prater will take a 59-yard try through the storm, and it veers right, no good. Second half will have us start with the football. It's been pretty clear in the first half that this is going to be one of those nasty, grinded out type of games. And it's going to be very important that we protect the football on offense and make smarter decisions. As Walker doesn't get forward progress, and we open up the second half with a 3-and-out. Michael Dixon comes out for his first punt of the game. He'll drive this as deep as he can. Adoree Jackson returning this, and he'll find a nice crease for an excellent return. Cardinals will have it near midfield. Both teams stacked up in the box on first down. They still hand it off to Benson, and he'll bob and weave his way for a gain of 3. With how the weather is going, I would assume there'd be more emphasis on the ground game. As Murray drops, and he'll fire a dart on the slant to Michael Wilson, and he's got his 5th catch of the game. Tip Ryman lined up as the fullback on this play, as they try to bounce it wide on the stretch run, but Seattle is all over it, and they'll be backed up for this 3rd down. Going with a pistol look, Seattle rushes 4. He'll fire downfield, and his receiver lost footing, and luckily it drops for an incompletion. And they'll still roll out the field goal team. Raiders kick from 53 through the storm, hits the goalpost, no good. And we will maintain our slim lead. It's been a rough game for both offenses in this one, and we've seen how the rain is affecting players on the field with guys slipping and missed kicks. I wish we could say we're taking advantage of it, but we're struggling on our end as well. And even with these opportunities given, we weren't able to capitalize. But it really comes down to our defense, which is scary to say, being that we just haven't been a team that's making plays. Although there's Uwosu with a nice open field tackle for loss. Third quarter winding down, as Murray has a lot of time here. But the coverage is excellent, and he's taken down in the backfield as Uwosu continues to make a living behind the line of scrimmage. Seattle pushes their next drive past midfield. Any type of points would give us a level of comfort, as Howell has nowhere to go with the football, and they finally get to him. Loss of 15. Smarter decisions need to be made in these situations, as is lofted and right on the money for Fant, who turns upfield, and this might actually give them a shot to go for it, which they do. 4-man front as Lockett goes in motion. Howell trying to extend this play, but the pressure is too much. Turnover on downs as the offense continues to stall. Arizona takes over near the 40, looking to possibly tie or take the lead. And that's one way to do it, by giving it to your best player on the team. Harrison Jr. has been terrific today. Single high look on first down. Murray's going to try and run it himself, but a flag is immediately thrown, and this is nullified by a holding call. Back to their own 43 with 5.5 to go. Murray opts to thump it off, and a wide open Benson, and he's going to get all the penalty yardage back. Trey Benson has done well replacing the injured James Conner, as he gets a block for a first down, maintains balance through the contact, and shows off his resilience on that run. Cards now spreading out the defense. Quick toss, and that ball is somehow caught by MHJ, and they're well in field goal range for Matt Prater. As Murray goes with a play fake, going for it all, touchdown! Cards retake the lead late in the 4th, as the rookie Tip Ryman finishes with 6. What a finish we have here in tough conditions against a divisional rival at home. It doesn't get better than this, as Metcalf has this for another 8. This defense has withheld us from explosive plays. They rush 4. Howell taking a shot, and Lockett has a step. He's got him in stride. Inside the 10 he goes, and finally the big play we've been waiting for. And this is against Buda Baker, and Lockett is just too fast, and once he breaks off the release, they had no chance. Still need 8 as Lockett is lined up in the slot. They opt to run, and Charbonnet is tripped up but a flag. And this call is costly. They'll be backed up 10. Lockett now in motion. Gets the touch pass. Great blocking up front. And he's going to walk into the end zone. Tyler Lockett comes up big with a late game heroic touchdown. And it's all Tyler Lockett on this drive, but tons of credit to the blocks by our receivers to allow the big finish. Still tons of time for the Cards as they have found a rhythm in their last drive. And Trey Benson was a big part of it, but he's just shy of the marker here as we reach the 2-minute warning. Now Murray has time looking downfield, fires, and it falls at the feet of his receiver Wilson. It's 4th down. Everyone in the stadium knows where this ball is going, but it doesn't matter because Harrison is just too good for our secondary. About 100 seconds left on the clock. Murray operating from the gun, and he's got a man wide open downfield, closing in on the red zone, and they'll kick into gear by going with more tempo. Murray already over 350 through the air, and that pass is broken up. Woolen finally makes a play against MHJ. Secondary playing a deep zone, and Murray will just take what he can get as Harrison Jr. racks up another catch. Major 3rd down as the Seahawks show blitz. They hand it off, and they get to him in the backfield. Tyrese Knight wasn't fooled, and that will force Prater back out. This kick for the tie, and right down the middle. Could we have our first overtime game, or will this be a game-winning drive for the Seattle offense? It'll start with a Nehemiah Pritchett return. He has a block, now a lane, and a nice return there by the rookie corner as we look to finish this game with just 3. Another 300-yard game for Howell, but we just need him to make smart decisions at this stage of the game. As he flips this out to Fant, and a good start, as this play gets us into Arizona territory. Pistol look with 49 seconds to go. Howell gonna flip this to the sidelines and a nice little pitch and catch for a gain of 4. We're gonna need more than the 40-yard line in this condition for Jason Myers, especially with the way I kick. As Howell takes a deep drop, finds the open check down, and Charbonnet will move the sticks as the Cards call a timeout. Playbook can now expand from this point, but they opt to run it up the gut. Walker breaks a tackle and picks up another 12. Big run as the Cards burn another timeout. No need to get cute. We've done what we came to do, and now it's all going to come down to the leg of Jason Myers. And this 35-yarder will be iced by Jonathan Gannon. Nothing like an ice kick to finish it off. Myers for the win. Kick is up and good. Seattle wins again. How about 3 straight divisional opponents and 3 wins in a row? Don't count them out just yet, as this team now has a fresh burst of energy with the newer guys stepping up and playing tough. Sam Howell, another big performance with over 300 yards and a score. Walker recovered from his early fumble and made the most out of his opportunities, including finding the end zone. Metcalf continues to be a standout for our offense as always, but the connection that Howell has with Tyler Lockett has been superb in the last few games, and some big catches made by JSN. Tyrese Knight is growing up before our eyes and might have saved the game with his TFL on Arizona's last drive. And speaking of, Uchenna Nwosu had an outstanding performance and just lived in the backfield all game and causing a bunch of chaos. Since the trade deadline, our decision to become sellers has surprisingly led to a 3-game winning streak. The younger players we elevated in the depth chart has stepped up remarkably. Their contributions have revitalized the team, and it's showcasing how bright the future could be. There's obviously still holes on this roster, but this unexpected success highlights the potential promising future ahead of us. And the type of game we just played show that we're learning how to win again. And before we get out of this episode, let's also look ahead at some guys I want to focus on as we near the draft and end of the season. The top player in this class is a receiver, and I didn't see anything that impressed me outside of George Stevenson, so I predict this may be a weaker draft class. That's why I want to focus more on the trenches, since it's a need for us anyway. Starting it off with a hometown kid in Tyrone Jenkins out of Washington. He's got good size at 6'7" and just 22 years old. He's a solid athlete, but what impresses me about him is how well he protects the quarterback, and we need someone like him badly on our team. On the defensive side, Terrence Gordon could fit well in our 3-4 defense as a defensive end. The Ole Miss defensive tackle is 6'2", 298 pounds and just 21 years old. A pretty good athlete since this class doesn't have much of them, but I think we can develop him to be one of the most dominant rushers if we opt this direction. My personal favorite player at the moment is Ohio State's Demarius Golston. He's a massive 6'3", 338-pound guard, and this could be a huge upgrade from our current guys. He's a good enough athlete, and if he's got elite strength, he might be the top player I select. And there's just a lot of A's right now that makes me excited for a guy like him. So these will be the 3 players I focus on. This draft class doesn't have game-changing athletes, and we'll discuss more in the offseason episode. We'll have Abraham Lucas back from injury in the next episode, and our next challenge is the matchup against the New York Jets. And I'm eager to see how we perform. To keep this series moving at a quicker pace, depending on the result of the next 2 games, I might switch back to 2-game episodes to speed up our progress towards the off-season. But thank you guys so much for all your support. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am watching this storyline unfold. Please subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. That would be greatly appreciated. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Monkey C, and I'm out.